And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into the GAX Cheetah Modern Warfare 3 launch event. Mattman and Ajax back in the booth once again for you. And Ajax, we've got a spicy one up on the cards.
Yes, we do. We talked about it before. A big upset happening in the winner's side of bracket, sending fourth space Esports down to the losers was New Jersey, who caught so many strays, but they said we want all the smoke. Let's take a look at that bracket actually to see who is on the other side of that as well. We got fourth space versus POBO, who were able to take it in a Game 5 close set against Galaxy Gaming. And on the other side, it will be the Saints, who continue to make that run through losers after getting set down by the Houston Spartans. And I know we talked about it quite a bit, but they were one of the few that were able to put a point on the board against the Spartans yesterday. So it looks like that has continued to go through. Prod and Proof to continue to prove themselves through and through. But Team Acrylic has also been on a tear. They got to winner's side for good reason. Matt, we have nothing but fire coming up.
No, not at all. And we do have to say goodbye to Newberry College and Galaxy Gaming, two teams that have absolutely made a name for themselves here at this tournament, but fall short just before reaching the losers quarterfinals, which is where we will pick up action, as Ajax said, between Fourth Space Esports and POBO Esports. That's our main attraction, our main event for right now. Tell me what you're liking as Fourth Space Esports. As you said, I mean, they take that 0-3 loss. It was their first loss in the winner's bracket. They get dropped down. Got this map set here. No repeats. Do you think that Fourth Space Esports makes a regain here, or are they going to have a very, very tough Sunday?
Well, they're going to need to pick up the reason why they were #1 seed overall in the first place. Without getting a point on the board in that last match, they have a lot to prove here, but they have proven it through and through. Of course, they were dominant through the pools phase. They were dominant early on, but they end up losing their first match on Game 3. But champions are built when things are looking rough. Back against the wall, defense can win championships, and we've seen many times over. A lot of times, the person on the loser side makes the run all the way through because they get going, they get hot, and they remember why they made it there in the first place. So, POBO getting an incredible Game 5 set. I think that they have what it takes to definitely make it all the way through, but I do expect to see Fourth Space really pick it up. They're the ones who get the first map pick here, Matt, too, because we're going to start off on Karachi for Hardpoint.
Yeah, and we saw that map just a few moments ago in our first series between Acrylic and Houston, and it was a map that definitely favored that B side heavy, which is very what we expected, that top roofs area definitely coming into play, and it really all came down to a lot of times that opening first pick and that opening first blood that would open up that site either for the offense or for the defense. Being Fourth Space Esports pick, you gotta feel like they have a little bit of confidence here coming in onto Karachi. And something to point out as well, Ajax, the fact that we have no repeats in this. We are getting to look at all 5 of the competitive maps potentially here in this series if it goes the full distance. But POBO Esports, Fourth Space Esports, taking it on, button heads here on Karachi. Ajax, let's get it going. Losers quarters action.
All right, it's that time to get control of P1. It's that pit, the mosh pit. Everybody going to be grouped up, banging heads, trying to see which one of them is going to get that first control. Because navigating over to P2, getting yourself that first seat, getting that reservation in for the restaurant is going to matter a ton on a map like this. We're going to see Aspect already get the early pickoff, getting Toxic, who wasn't ready as he poked his head out.
And Aspect finds that first, but no more than that. Sparks with a 3-piece to open up this site for POBO Esports. It's always a mixy one, especially here on P1 Karachi, and we know you've got to start to make your way very, very early to this back restaurant. Let's see whose reservation is going to come in first, and it does look to be Fourth Space Esports as they're finding these rotational gunfights.
Yeah, Ramby going up to the desk, getting themselves a seat with Teddy. We might be seeing Chris make his way over there very soon, but it looks like Sovereign not too happy about being late to the restaurant. Might be able to sneak his way back around. They're not really paying attention to the back door, but yeah, I think they got some data. It looked like that might have clipped on the stun. There goes one. He doesn't get the pick off because he stayed within the building. But he does at least get one there by getting rid of Teddy.
Yeah, that's a great pick from Sovereign there. Be able to find one, no more than that. Exotic and Ramby able to shut that push down, still locking this in for SEE. And right now, Sparks just trying to find a way into this hill, but nothing going. Ramby on the 5 spree, absolutely being a tear right now. Sovereign flies in, gets taken out early, and this has been a perfect hill for the side of Fourth Space Esports.
That's why we said it's so crucial they get early control to the point where we see POBO decide to relinquish that point and said, look, we can't do it. We can't get control here. We're going to start making our way to the back of the B point there. Heading towards P3, they have to get in early. They're all navigating over. It looks like we're going to see Aspect maybe go towards the roof side. But in the middle of that, they weren't able to stop Sovereign from getting picked off.
No, and that's a big rotation win for the side of fourth space. They are here. They are locked, ready for action. Exotic going to be able to take one there onto Aspect. Trophy down for Ramby, locking down this hill for fourth space.
Exotic has been looking incredible every time they move into position. Got caught that one time early on. Since then, sporting a 3 streak. Maybe looking for 4 here. Does he get the 4? No, misses out on that. But he's essentially one shot. Don't poke your head back out. You might get caught.
And that's 3 dead in the feed, though clean. It's all on to Ramby. He goes down as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. The trophy as well. And it's POBO Esports breaking on into this P3, locking some much-needed hill time down. But Exotic playing with this MCW, going to be looking to cause a tear from the side. But Sovereign will shut that down early. And it'll be the last 20 seconds most likely to go the way of POBO, as these early rotations down to bottom church are going to be in for POBO.
Very crucial on POBO to get those early rotations as well. They have that free 30 seconds they're able to capitalize. So building up some points here, Matt. But now we're heading back over. Time to get a hold of the house. Rent is due, and who's going to pay first? Everybody paying their dues. As we see bodies continue to fall. Fourth space Esports losing 2. And we're going to see Driz fall as well. Everybody going down.
I mean, Ramby with the team nade there, not going to help your cause whatsoever if you're fourth space. But Exotic now from the backside, able to find one. Not any more than that. It's still POBO locking this hill down in their favor, continuing to find kills. But Ramby from the backside, able to find 1, able to find 2, busting his way on in. Still 35 seconds left to work with, but from the heavens, off the top rope, Sparks able to find 1 himself.
Ramby was cracking heads open, but gets his own dome piece shattered as well, not looking directly up to the skies, and that's you'll take that every day a week for Sparks. The lead is starting to build up, but because it was contested for a little bit there, they're losing a lot of potential time points here. We're going to see a couple fall, though. Ramby sneaking his way back in to control the last 15 seconds. It's time to rotate over. You see all of POBO already getting control, and it looks like they might be able to set up perfectly looking out into street.
And it looks like ever since fourth space has built that little bit of a lead, they've just been willing to play these 50-50 hills, not willing to give any position up too much that they would not like to. It is POBO that is in the hill for now, but the shots are raining through. A couple of trades go either way. Now it's 3 dead in the feed for the side of fourth space. Only 1 more player to deal with. Driz is up, Driz is down. Sent to the nether realm as fourth space Esports takes over.
Team MWIII as they'll have a conversation in hell together trying to figure out what went wrong, and right now the only thing they can really consider is start thinking about an early push, because you need to capitalize in these last few points before we get this rotation off. We still got 30 seconds, plenty of time to kill. Fourth space Esports getting plenty of kills themselves, but they got 2 down. We're going to see Ramby at least trade 1 back off and take right back over and sporting a 5 kill streak. Once again, he has been on fire.
15-4 on a 5 spree, looking to implement a cruise missile here. Aspect playing a ring around the rosy, just trying to find him, just trying to shut him down, but damage is already done. Aspect's gonna get taken back from the side of Chris Radel, and now it'll be fourth space in full control here. 156 and counting to only 71 from POBO.
This is where things could really steamroll out of control. It is P1 once again. All-out war is inbound. You want to keep that lead here if you're fourth space, and you don't like the fact that 2 have fallen immediately. This is going to give 3 points right now. So you see Sovereign answering back as well for the 5 piece of his own, looking potentially for that cruise missile pretty soon.
And Sovereign as well. Driz finds another one. Chris going down to Driz as well. Drizzy Drake able to find a couple there, but now Sovereign as well on that cruise missile from the top side. 15-9, really started to pick it up for himself and the side of POBO, who has made a really solid hold here on this P1. Can be mixy at times, but able to lock it down. But 20 seconds to go the way of fourth space could still extend this lead further than POBO may like.
If that trade-off doesn't happen with Chris over there, over on the rotation to P2, they might actually have a free position in the restaurant once again, but fourth space not able to get the free rotation they did last time. POBO already moving their way in, but it's only 1 versus 2. They have to have everybody converge to try to make sure that doesn't happen again. We see 1 fall. We see another fall, and Teddy is indeed wrecking as he guns down everyone on POBO.
Teddy Rex giving us the beautiful show in there, finding two, able to lock it down for fourth space. Sovereign trying to do everything he can right now, but three players lay in wait for him as there's still 40 seconds to work with on this hill as fourth space as well. Already crossing that 200-point threshold. Aspect and company flying in, able to take out one. Now the second up, not going to happen, but it's 3 dead in the feed. Make it 4 for the side of POBO as they'll be able to lock in this last 30 seconds off of the Driz 3-piece.
That's a great job they're able to do. It's time to move, though. You got to get the rotation going, as you can see already. Sparks and Aspect making their way back over to P3. Last time, though, they lost out on that. They weren't able to stop the dive from fourth space after dominating P2. You can't afford to have that happen again. They're already at 2:04. 4 minutes left on the clock. They've been running hot, but so far, bodies are continuing to drop once again.
And it's just Granby and company flying in through the backside, trying to implement this flank, but Sovereign finds one, not the second onto Teddy, but it'll still be Teddy all by his lonesome now here in this flank, just trying to check the backside angle as Driz now trying to make his way up onto this hill. A double chow comes through. Aspect and Driz gets sat down. Exotic looking for one more on his left side there. Sovereign's able to trade out Teddy Rax. It's back and forth action, shooting all around the pole, but it's still trades that come in, but POBO locks down this hill just for now.
Not able to dance around the foundation that was built before him, and Ramby is on the position to try and maybe make things happen, as he has been the party starter all day. Does he get one? No, Ramby makes the rush in, but that does give some data. Sovereign does not get the trade-off they're looking for in POBO, losing control there of that spot. There's 20 seconds still worth of free points. They can't afford to lose these.
No, they can't, as it's 2:18 and climbing right now for fourth space as they look to lock in that last little bit of hill time. Now coming into the bottom temperature. Oh no! Rampy gets sat down and now may have opened things up for POBO here. Look to be a lock for fourth space, but Sovereign able to find two, open up this hill, and really give POBO a chance.
If you're a fan of POBO, you got a little bit of help right now. Gets a pick off, and everybody's got to run away. They were thinking about a dive, but instead they take one for the grenade, another one from Driz, another one from Driz as he catches Exotic. The POBO boys are still in it.
Yeah, you gotta play picture perfect CoD for the rest of the time, and so far able to do that, shutting the door. Ramby and company on in, but only gonna be able to find one. The trades are in. Aspect finds two, and it's still 32 seconds left to work with here on this hill for POBO Esports. The only problem for them right now is Ajax. They're still down 233 to 161.
Like you said, they have to play perfectly from this point forward. You can't really afford to let this next rotation go away from you. They got 18 seconds left, so you got to start moving pretty soon. You already see Ramby is in position to try and cover that. They are going to pick off from the looks of it. It was Driz moving his way over. They can't let get set up, and this is a perfect win-off as we see Sovereign get the pick off on Ramby. That's going to let them get into that point, and once again, getting another control here on this rotation.
I mean, and they absolutely need it right now. Driz finds the kill that they need. Trophy system gone as well. This is POBO's hill. They have locked it down 236 to 179. You gotta get on the hill though. You gotta garner some of this time. There you go, POBO. Finally on the hill, and Ramby now gonna be trying to look around from the top, but Aspect gonna be finding a nade onto Exotic. Another one for Aspect, starting to really turn things up towards the later half of this map.
Ramby doing his best to try and catch what he does. There we go. Ramby's able to get Sparks, who was poking his head out of the restaurant. A little bit of time left here to still garner some points. They already passed that 200 mark they needed, but it's going to be fourth space Esports who's making their way through, but they still lose out on what could have been their point. All of a sudden, this match got so much closer.
We talked about it. POBO Esports had to play picture perfect CoD, and that's exactly what they're doing. But Ramby's going to be able to find a really important rotational gunfight there. But it's all on to P1. Both of these teams now able to win it off of this hill, the mixiest hill on all of Karachi, as we started out again. Third set of rotations. Here we go. Sovereign and Aspect able to find two. Oh my god, Sparks finds the third. Driz finds the fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4. And POBO Esports all of a sudden in full control.
They're about to take back the lead here. Aspect hovering over the point. Is this a spot where you can't afford to throw bodies at the wall? Usually it's okay to let it rock, but right now we're going to see a trade-off. Teddy has to back off. He's already got picked it. And he's not losing Driz. POBO continues to build on the lead. They are not getting stopped. They're still hovering back over P1. Fourth space has to make something happen, as this is about to be even.
They have to do something here, and they are able to. They find two big kills there, now only needing 9 seconds themselves. The grenades are in, the kills are in. It's only 4 seconds. Fourth space Esports looking to steal it away at the very end, and here it is. Oh, the cruise missile comes in. It takes them out, but it's still fourth space Esports able to lock down the last second and win the first map in an absolute thriller.
Driz was so close to sneaking his way back through. That cruise missile could have set up exactly what they needed to try and make things happen, but it didn't work out that way. Force Space was able to shut it down at the last second. What an intense match. Rambi was popping off at the beginning. Sovereign really picked it up later. Everybody started picking it up. Nobody not contributing to the match, and even those who were negative on the KD were throwing bodies right where they needed it to. How do we continue over and over again to get these insane game number ones here on Hardpoint?
I mean, I want to talk about it. I think Kanwa actually was one that said it, is that there are a lot of teams here that have absolute shooters. We have a lot of seemingly very evenly matched teams here at this championship Sunday in this later half of our bracket. And looking at POBO Esports right there, doing everything right towards the end of that map. It was a stretch where they put at least, I felt like, 100, maybe 80 points straight there on the board at one point. They were playing picture perfect CoD, but it's just that mixy P1 that you don't want to have to bank on at the end of a map, because as we could see there, cruise missiles, util, everything being thrown at that P1 in the middle of Karashki.
You see chat feel the same level of intensity as the players, as we are too. It's in the moment all the way through. We're gonna slow things down a little bit though. We're gonna head over to Search on Invasion. This has been one of the most commonly picked points for Search throughout the weekend for pretty much everyone. Going into this, how are you feeling? Are we feeling B point dominated or A point dominated? Your call.
I mean, with the side coming on here, it's one of these really S&D maps where it kind of plays really evenly to both the A and the B site. There's a lot of things that I like about going to A, but there's a lot of things I don't like. If you're on the offensive side, you can get there really quickly. You can make the gunfights mixy, but as we talked about when you play it on Hardpoint, that open mid area is just completely wide open. You've got to check your mid cut. You've got to check that back wall heady. So many different angles. Going on to the B side, it's a little more straightforward, right? One lane, you hit it, you make it there. The only problem is that B site also very, very wide open. If you're not using your trophies, if you're not using your smokes, that is going to be a very, very hard site to take because it's one straight shot to the B site.
Yeah, it's all about establishing early fear that you may go A and then pivot to B. Make people feel like there's no reason you go to B, because then you get a free dive in, get your point, get the hill, get everybody feeling afraid about approaching, because like you said, it's wide open. That in and of itself makes the minigame fun about playing Invasion Search, because you just don't know when somebody might just say, screw it, I'm running in. I don't care if you might toss reckless grenades over there. I think that I got it down, but a lot of data collecting does happen at this point. Nobody's going to be that reckless unless they're feeling spicy, and so far it's been nothing but hot fire matches back to back to back. And also, POBO came off of a Game 5 set themselves. Force Space really able to answer back after that, going down 0-3. This is the number one seed, so we expect to see them perform. But POBO showing why they have been able to make this losers run up to this point in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, they're a very talented team, and especially in Hardpoint, you saw it there, that when the going got tough, they were able to lock it down. And looking at POBO Esports, really not having a very long losers run. They were in the winners bracket for most of day 2, dropping down there after losing to, who else? The Houston Spartans. And, you talked about it, POBO Esports being one of the only teams that we'd seen really been able to take maps off of them, as well as the Saints. Only one, but still, something to hang your hat on there, as we saw Houston Spartans an easy 3-0 win this morning. Going back to our feature match, though, here, Force Space Esports has a very, very good opportunity here to go up 2-0 in this series. You're talking about evasion. For me, it's all about, especially when you're in the offensive side, you got to make sure you're confident with whatever you're doing, especially if you're hitting that A site. If you get caught up by nades and you get caught up by util and you kind of play back there, you don't really make a move, it can allow for wraps from the defensive side to come through on the B side, and you can end up getting pinched from both sides. So whatever team's on offense, I want to see quick, calculated, and confident pushes.
It's going to be POBO on offense to start things off. Sparks picking up the bomb. It's time for map number 2, and some very aggressive play right from Rambi, getting immediate data saying, hey, everybody, they're heading to B. It's time to reconsider. Look at the backline. Look at Teddy making an attempt, but he gets picked off, trying to come through, and Aspect had something to say about it.
Oh, the boomstick ringing early here on map 2 Invasion. You love to see it out of Sparks, or rather Aspect. POBO Esports Finding the man advantage in the round. Gonna be trying to look to hit this B site, but Ramby gonna be laying in wait, able to take out the first, even things back up to a 3v3. And Ajax, look at that. That is bombed down now, trapped on the B site.
Big pick off of the bomb, because now all of a sudden, if you're trying to snipe, that's pretty much the only position you could try and lurk around. You have to see where they're hovering, so your position control matters so much. You can see everybody's hovering so well. Ramby looking over the center of the area right there, like B right in the middle. You can't do anything. You have to run. You have to pick it up. You have no choice.
Yeah, that bomb is in what is definitely called no man's land. As here comes the wrap from Exotic, finds one in the back, trying to find the second. Not gonna happen, but all left on to Sovereign here in the 1v2. Not the position that he wants to be stuck in right now, and the boomstick ringing true once again.
Pretty much all you can do in that spot is accept defeat. Once it's that dead center, we talked about it, the fear of point B is that if things go awry, say goodbye. Immediate shot, you tried to get the bomb, no way am I going to let you get over to that. And excellent position control there from POBO. But not quick enough to get in to finish the job. Force-Space Esports getting the first game.
Yeah, and interesting here, Force-Space Esports, I believe, just ended the match, so we might have a settings issue. We know how mixy that can be when you go into the Call of Duty settings, but from that first round, I mean, let's go ahead and talk about it. It's exactly what we said before. If you get caught up really hitting either of these sites, I more talked about it on the A site, but even the B site, that bomb gets trapped in no man's land. You start kind of getting tunnel vision looking down that lane, and we see the wrap come in, and he's able to find one piece in the back, almost finds the second onto Sovereign, but he's able to cause enough of a conniption fit in the back there to really just throw off the whole push, even finding one on the flank and taking your attention away from the two players looking down B lane really gives POBO Esports a lot of problems there in that round, and it's something that we're going to be looking to see as this map continues. If you aren't confident in those pushes, even if you make an early mistake like dropping the bomb down in no man's land like that, these rounds can be very, very tough to win on the offensive side.
Yeah, and they kind of got figured out early on in that too. Ramby getting the early data as they were making their way down over to B, and then they tried to make an attempt to get a pick off. Teddy was trying to sneak his way around. If he succeeds in that, we probably see an earlier round in what that got down to at the end. But Ramby recognizing where people are, getting the pick off over on the bomb as well after getting that door open, really putting the team on his back. And I'm just not too surprised with how well he played there in map 1 as well, bringing it right over here to Search.
Yeah, and our production is still trying to get word at the arena of what's going on there with the reset. We're assuming it is a rules issue. Obviously, we know playing in private matches. Call of Duty, can you please just give us a CDL game mode? Thank you pretty much. But nope, we're going to have to make the rules up ourselves as we go. And here we go. It does look like round 2 aspect already again. Starting out with the sniper. Finding 2 on the other side of the map there as Exotic looking to push this B site, and I do believe we are going to have Force-Space Esports up 1-0 from that reset.
I say everybody keep that in mind as we continue throughout this. When the scores are up, it was Force-Space. We're able to get the first map, and we're going to see a pick off here from Exotic. We're going to see potentially 2. No, does not get the second one he's looking for, and it's all down to Teddy here on the second map.
All down to Teddy in the 1v3, not the position you want to be in, staring down the likes of Driz, Aspect, and Sovereign, I tell you that. But he's going to try to make a play. Not much going to happen for him here. Force-Space Esports going to be getting that round on the board there. Looking like they're going to be up 2-0. And I actually believe as well, not only do we have a reset, the teams are switched as well, because Sovereign definitely plays for POBO Esports.
Yeah, names backwards a little bit. We're getting everything situated, but all still games to be had. We'll figure that out, of course, in a second. There we go. POBO Esports properly up on the top right there. Force-Space Esports sporting a 2-game lead here to start things off.
As shots ringing through already there with that sniper aspect. Gonna be able to find another one there. Teddy Rex playing around this backside. Gonna be able to find anything yet. Still a 3v3 situation.
Also, correction on my end, it is a 1-1, not a 2-0 because of the name swap. My apologies there, but Sparks, all the one and only one, all left by himself, trying to figure out how to make things happen. It's gonna be a bit rough. Trying to make his way through. The bomb is in his hands, though, so if there's ever a shot, try and make it happen. He's got to be the one to do it.
And POBO Esports needing it right here out of Sparks, able to find one there. Still 2 players left to deal with, an Exotic and Teddy. Not the exact position he wants to be in, I can tell you that for sure, but nonetheless, looking to make the hero play for his team right now. 37 seconds left, a hop, a jump, and a skip across the rooftops and awnings. Being a sneaky snake right now, Ajax.
He's got 30 seconds to be solid in the moment. He's got to be able to sneak his way through, and he's not going to be able to put the dub on the board that he was looking for. Well, incredible job holding it down for a little bit at the end, but not enough to get the job done.
Not enough in the end. A tough position for him, though, as well. I mean, a 1v2, even a 1v3 at the start, able to find at least 1 kill there. Make it look a little better, but it is going to be the lead right now for Fourth Space Esports, even though it does say 1-1. Again, if you're just joining us, had a little bit of a reset issue. Fourth Space Esports did take 1 round before we reset, so they are up 2-1. Now finding themselves on the attacking side as well. And Ajax, as I said before, I'm looking for a quick, confident hit here. And it does look like they're going to be trying to approach the B site.
B-site being heavily favored off the start, deciding to take the firefight to the wrong place as he gets shot in the face. Driz going to fall. Aspect getting a pick off of Exotic in exchange, but Teddy falling immediately after, so POBO getting the hold on with a 3-2 lead at the moment.
Absolutely, Driz finding nothing there, gets taken out. Sovereign will find one on the trade, but it leaves Sovereign still in a 1v2 situation here. Or sorry, rather a 2v1.
Can he make it happen? We've seen people make things happen for it. If you want anybody to do it, Ramby is definitely the option with the way he's put the team on his back. With the bomb hanging over by B. We mentioned earlier, B being such a difficult spot to get through. Ramby trying to win this firefight, but he's got 2 of them facing down, and there's not really much you can do about that to make things happen, evening things back up.
Evening things back up here. Beautiful shots there out of Sparks, just playing the heady there. MCW ringing. That back wall heady. Tell you what, Ajax, playing that in pubs, so hard to find the shots onto those headies, man. These guys are shooting beamers today.
Well, you gotta have solid gold like that paint on the MCW he had. He's lighting everybody up. Incredible job going back and forth. I mean, very similar to what we saw in the last match as well, and what POBO's been able to do in the past couple sets, bringing it to Game 5 in the previous match against Galaxy Gaming, bringing it all the way down to the wire in the last one. I don't think we walk away from this without potentially seeing another round of 11.
If we see another one, I'm going to lose absolute composure in the booth. I gotta tell you right now. But just a minute 10 left here in this round. Knotted up at 2 apiece. Again, if you're just joining us, me and Ajax can read up there, but we had a little bit of a reset. So Fourth Space Esports does have 1 more round than shows at the moment. Teddy Rax playing over this tank heady. A big, slow round from a lot of these teams, and you can already see with POBO Esports just trying to find it. Lane it.
All right, trying to get the sneak through. Teddy throwing the grenade up, but I'm pretty sure it hit the roof, so it might be bouncing back to him. No, he was able to get it over the top, so he didn't have to worry about potential recoils on himself, which is one of the most comedic things to ever watch in CoD. But when $8,000 on the line, you don't want to have that be on your side on that team.
No, not at all. It's Sovereign and Sparks make their way up here, and I love this play. The smoke's coming out to really utilize. We talked about it before. If you can use your utility and really lock this down, you can actually get to the B side a lot easier. As Sovereign able to find that first blood there. Ramby shots in onto Sparks. That's the bomb planter. So now somebody's going to have to rush plant this bomb. If they fly in now, they'll be able to take him out. Aspect with the boomstick finds one. Second one from the side. Chris Randall in a 1v1.
Aspect all by himself was able to get the job done. Once again, we talked about it before. Even though it may not look that way, they're up even further in it, which I believe right now would be sporting a 4-1, not a 3-1, as they are only 2 rounds away from taking it into a 2-0 lead.
I will say for everyone that's probably watching this, you're very confused right now. Our production was nice enough to switch the names up top for you, so they are right up top. The problem is, though, in-game, our CODcaster settings are messed up, so it actually is POBO Esports that gets that round win.
Oh, well, oops.
It's confusing. CODcaster is the worst thing to deal with.
It's tripping me up as well. The map got loaded into a little bit quickly, so POBO Esports, my apologies, are up 4-1 at the moment, looking clean at that. Sovereign hanging out. Looking to see if anybody makes their way over to the A side. It looks like A side is in fact being favored. We're looking at Exotic with the bomb, trying to find his way through. You got Teddy coming around the back to give him a little bit of help. We're gonna see not one but two. Aspect getting picked off. Sparks getting picked off as well. This is a perfect time to move in.
Chris giving Aspect a taste of his own medicine right there with the sniper. Bomb going to be able to go down now. It's a difficult situation for POBO Esports here. Driz and Sovereign, the only two left standing, trying to find their way in now. One kill does come through, but Rambi on the immediate trade, now leaving things on to Driz in the 1v3, and nothing going for him there. As that is Fourth Space Esports getting their second round, which would be their third round from the bracket reset. So it's 3-3 actually confirmed now. This has been, they're testing our casting ability in the booth here to figure this one out. This is almost like a riddle.
It has been. It is indeed opposite day at work as everything is. We are in the Mirrorverse at the moment. Take a look in there. Like we said, the in-game overlay is, it may be reversed, but the way things are going down, the scores are even. Take a look at the top there. We're seeing some very, very even gameplay aspect with a slight lead there on the 6-3, but everybody contributing, nobody being out of the fray, getting early data that they're starting to work their way towards B, but that was only on to Sovereign. Everyone else heading over towards A.
Aspect still playing with the sniper. He's been such a key aspect, really, of this POBO Esports. That was terrible. That was a terrible pun. I'm sorry, chat. But yeah, it's been a detrimental thorn in the side to Fourth Space Esports with that sniper. But Chris as well, being able to whip it out and really do some damage with it as well. 4-3 now. Sovereign able to find one, even things up into a 3v3.
Driz gets picked off, but Exotic and Teddy both falling shortly after. Sovereign falling down to a 2-2. The bomb is still in the hands of the blue team. They have the opportunity to get it. They're going to sneak into A to see if they can get dropped down. They're going to get a shot off. And right now, looking over on the other side, Chris paying close attention, trying to make sure he can get his own hit. He does not win on that first sniper shot.
I don't know how he doesn't hit the first, but the second connects. And now a 1v1 between Chris and Driz. This is a big round here. You gotta check your corners. And Chris gets sat down, and it is POBO Esports that finds their fourth round on the board and takes the lead here in this one, 4-3.
Insanely close match right now. Like you said, not paying attention to your corners. It's been again, chat, it's been a fun time moving back and forth with this there, but we have a small lead. Can they finish the job is the question. We'll find out momentarily.
And they finish the story, trying to even things up at one apiece here in the series as well, taking it into a map 3 hardpoint. Chris with the sniper. Ooh, might be a little bit of a sniper battle between him and Aspect here. The boomstick's out, the boomstick's ringing. Who's gonna find the shot? Just up and down, the snakes are in. Shots, no one gonna find anything just yet. Still quiet on the Western Front.
Driz just hanging out all by his lonesome, checking out the scenery, maybe thinking about moving in. You know, a little reconstruction can make the area look nice, but at the moment, Exotic is not a part of the viewing party anymore, but we're going to see Rambi answer back with one at least. The grenade toss is going to come out, see if he can maybe finish what he started, and he's in fact going to, we're going to see only Rambi left. Excuse me. This is a very stressful situation at the moment, but it's still doable. Just very difficult at the moment. See if he can make his way around.
He's going to try to find the shots in here, and nothing going. Aspect. Are you kidding? The jump shot? We're jump shotting on LAN. Okay, that's me in the background right there. All praise to the man. Are you kidding? We're jump shotting on LAN. Okay, I see you. I feel you.
Take those every day of the week if you can. And we still, man, there's still a match to be played. There's still potential shot. We see that round of 11 as we're currently 4-3 or 5-2. It's one of those.
5-3. 5-3,
5-3. 5-3. We're getting there, chat.
It has been a confusing S&D nonetheless, but a mixy one at that. Back and forth action here on Invasion, and it already looks to be what was a quick hit towards the B site, but now a little bit of trickery as they do look to wrap this bomb back around towards the B site, but Teddy Rex laying in wait here for the push. He has not moved a muscle. He's been ready for it the whole time. Little stun check towards the mid alley as they do look to converge now. A little bit of confusion on the side of the defense here.
Everybody trying to decide where they want to go. You do have Ramsey keeping eyes over on B point, and they do get the data they need. They're able to catch Teddy hanging out over by A, so they know this is the position that's being controlled. It's on Driz to try and find his way back around. Where they decide to commit to is on them, but at the moment, this is the longest time it's taken before anybody has fallen.
30 seconds left in the round. This is about to become a headbutt MWIII mashup here on Invasion. The first gunfight to come through. Maybe Chris, it may be Driz. Here it is. Teddy Rex going to be able to find the first blood. Fly on in. Only 18 seconds left, but a trade comes through for Sovereign. Sovereign able to find two. He even things up for himself and his team now. Ramby able to try to lay down some shots, but this bomb has to go down now, and it is. Bomb being planted. Sovereign owns the kill. Now all left to Exotic in the 1v2. Shots coming in. Exotic finds the first. Now into a 1v1.
Sovereign has been nothing but money, but Exotic picking it up where they needed it the most right now. Does he get Sovereign? He pokes his head back up, and he loses out on the fight. It was so close. He got the duck back down, though, and he gets away from what looked like a free kill. Instead, he stops the round and keeps things going.
Not only that, gets the win for POBO Esports and sends them now at 1 apiece towards map number 3. Gotta get some water after that one. Make sure you stay hydrated. A MWIII one nonetheless. 10-5 for Aspect. He was the reason that POBO Esports able to take that one, really, man. 10-5. I know it says 4th space. The teams are flipped, chat. A very, very confusing S&D for everyone involved, I'm sure. But POBO Esports 6-3 win on Invasion, now to send us to the mixiest map in CoD right now, a sub-base hardpoint for our swing map 3.
And we will have everything in place the proper way with in-game overlays. Again, apologies for the confusion, as while they were doing the rule reset, the map got started a little bit too quickly, so the names in-game were not switched yet. But we won't have to worry about that, as we have at minimum 2 more games that would be happening, because we are at a tied 1-to-1 piece set. We're going to head over to sub-base, known as one of the best adventure modes, if you will, in MW3, because just navigating around, going between P2 to P3, heading back over to the tunnel, every single second that you exist, potentially you might die. The spawns being a little bit difficult to navigate around. We saw some chaos earlier today. Matt, how you feeling going into map 3?
I mean, I feel like we're about to witness a very chaotic map. I mean, we already saw a sub-base earlier that was back and forth action from start to finish. And, you know, going back again from our player interview and what Khan was said about that map of how chaotic it can be, and sometimes the best way to live in the chaos is to be the chaos. And I think that's going to be the key to success for either of these teams is don't get stressed. Don't lose your head. You know it's going to be MWIII. Just make it MWIII. Live in that. Play 30-30 hills. Get what hill time you can. We even saw a map yesterday that ended on time. So if we see something like that today, it's definitely going to be a barn burner. But for me, I really feel like this does lie on the shoulders of POBO Esports. They had a really good showing, able to bring that hard point back on Karachi to make it MWIII towards the end, give themselves a chance to win. They take over in that S&D through all of the confusion through the reset. Now heading in as well on POBO's map pick on sub-base. I feel like they have a very, very good chance at taking a 2-1 lead in this series.
They definitely have a shot. They've been able to bring it up again multiple times. They've been running through the losers bracket. No real clean sweeps on any of them, but even when they drop a point, they make it happen. They still able to pick it back up. 4th space currently sitting down there on the elimination side because they got an upset in the first place. And sub-base being one of those maps where it's not necessarily all about the strat. Sometimes you're just a meat shield letting someone else take off. And once you see that somebody has really picked it up, let them rock. That's kind of what happened there in Karachi. They were behind 100+ points, and they were able to steal it back because of good positioning. But most of that was much better hills that you could play safe on. This one, not so much. So it's going to be a bit more stressful trying to navigate it. But I think they definitely have a shot here to go up 2-1 in the set.
Yeah, I mean, there is nowhere on this map that you are safe at any point. Those rooftops, absolutely detrimental. From one side, you can see all 5 hard points from one rooftop, which is something that is absolute insanity. We've got to figure out something about this map The spawns are crazy, the action is crazy, and we know that POBO and Fourth Space are going to absolutely deliver here on this map 3. And a very important one too. It's the difference between going up 2-1 in a series and being down 2-1 in a series, heading into another hardpoint in Terminal. If you can get a good start here on this sub base, you can get this map in your back pocket, snowball it into another hardpoint in Terminal, because normally in these competitive scenes what we see is hardpoint S&D control, hardpoint S&D. We take that map 3 control out, we throw an extra hardpoint in. Back-to-back hardpoints maps 3 and 4 could definitely favor one team more than the other, especially if you get going on map 3.
We talk about it's the rubber game of the set. This is the one that matters so much because now it's basically a reset best of 3. Going into that final that final position, that fourth game could be extra stressful, especially on Terminal, where it is so crucial that you get your hills early and often. And if you are the team that's behind 2-1, you're more likely to make some very reckless early plays. You have to make things happen. You can't afford to let things get away. And for POBO, they got their 2 picks. The follow-up, though, both belong to Fourth Space Esports. We might see a future game number 5 on its way. We haven't really been able to see that so far here today. Well, it looks like we might be heading that direction if things pan out the way the picks are lined up.
And, you know, speaking about going to that Game 5, I mean, POBO Esports, a team that has already gone to a Game 5 today and been able to win that earlier. You know, we talked about the mental aspect for Fourth Space Esports being that number 1 seed, getting upset first game on Championship Sunday in a clean sweep fashion, 0-3. Now dropping down to the losers bracket, what is that mental situation looking like over there for Fourth Space Esports, especially now with things being tied up 1 apiece in the series? Really going to have to rely on a mental regain here for the side of Fourth Space, because I'm really telling you right now, Fourth Space Esports goes down in this series 2-1, which is a position that they haven't really been in a lot all weekend long, being that number 1 seed, being in the winners bracket the entire weekend up until this morning. You gotta wonder, what is the mental situation like they're going?
I mean, the mental stacks are very high right now. It's time to cash them in. Humble checks have been already sent over to the Fourth Space, so trying to rebound from that is definitely not what you want to have to deal with. And it was brought to you by the hands of New Jersey, which already hurts enough, according to our prior casters earlier on yesterday. Well, it's going to be a very stressful time, no matter which way you look at it, because it's elimination side. Yeah, you have to coordinate with your team. You have to make sure that you're feeling confident. This is an early tournament. You want to set a tone. You want to say, we're here to compete. We are one of the best in the beginning of Modern Warfare 3. And there's $8,000 on the line as well, so that's a pretty penny. That's why I think Fourth Space is going to be picking it up heavy, even with the clutch plays from POBO. But for POBO, you're the dark horse here. You are the 7th seed overall, sure, but you're playing up against the number 1 seed of the event, the team that they expected to be up against Houston. Everybody waiting for that matchup. It doesn't happen. So you have a chance to play big party spoiler. That's going to make you feel really good as well.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's what we talk about in these teams in the losers bracket is you've played more games. You're a little bit more hot than the other team. Coming into Championship Sunday, POBO Esports already has that 5-map set win under their belt already. For the side of Fourth Space, they've got to find a way back into this series right now. It's not at 1 apiece, but this wrap could mean everything.
Said it before, P1 is definitely for point game, but P2 and beyond is really where things start to happen. And already multiple people starting to see activity. We see 2 of them drop over on POBO Esports side. It is all control right now for Fourth Space, but that is very short-lived. They borrow time at that as they get cooked.
I mean, and that's what it is on subbase, right? It's, you think you have control, you never have control. This map will turn you on your head at a moment's notice, and already a mixy start to this one as POBO Esports locks down a 2-second lead. Right back on the hill is Fourth Space to tie things up and take the lead right back.
Aspect and Sovereign already navigating over onto P2, making sure they get early control of that. We see Sovereign fall shortly after that, though, so he's got to make his way back over. And not what they want to see either is another drop of Aspects. Now, all of a sudden, Fourth Space might be able to take early lead here on P2 after able to get in, everybody converging.
Everybody converging right now. It's 2 kills in the feed. Red for POBO. Now trying to find their way on in. Driz finds 1, but no more than that. Immediate trades coming out from Chris as he hides in the bottom area, trying to lock down a little bit more hill time. Play his life here. He's got a very good position for the side of fourth space. If he can hold it, he goes down now. As POBO Esports still trying to make a push on here, but Rampy with the double nade. Beautiful nades out of him, and it's fourth space Esports locking down a nice chunk lead here.
Letting it rain, looking like Stallone himself as he is letting the grenades fly and setting up a firework. But Ramby, it is exactly what we expected to see. He showed he could do it earlier today too, and he almost gets another one, but they do get a trade off there, at least 1-for-1. Ramby falls, but it doesn't matter. They still get Sovereign in the mix.
Yeah, and now still 2 more kills come the way of fourth space as well, but it's already POBO Esports right next door on P3, set up, ready to go. It'll have to be the break now from fourth space if they want to get some of this hill time, but we know this is one of the craziest hills in Call of Duty as terms of spawns.
It went from P2, now it's Electric Boogaloo time as we go to the Electric Boat product itself, the submarine out in the middle, waiting for activity to happen, and that's exactly what happens. Aspect, Sovereign, and Driz all getting dropped. They all have to start making their way back around the other side, but we already see Sparks and Aspect moving their way and trying to get early pick, but getting picked off himself. Sparks getting cooked. Batman, once again, fourth space, just so good at the early rotation.
Yeah, and Exotic now on a 5 spree, looking to implement that cruise missile. Oh, runs out of ammo, but he's got a second gun. Not gonna get him. Still trying to hide for that illustrious cruise missile there as Driz pops up, finds 1. Another one onto Exotic, another one onto Chris, and it's 3 dead in the feed. POBO Esports with 14 seconds left to scrap to work with here as we make our way onto the tunnel at about almost dead even at the end of this one. It'll be still about an 18-20 point lead for the side of fourth space.
I mean, speaking on those points, we're approaching 4 minutes left on the timer, and it is only 58-41. Everybody has just been getting destroyed. Now it's time for tunnel activity, tunnel warfare. Good luck as you enter the gulag here. This is going to be a bit of a stressful moment, trying to keep it locked down. You see already Sparks in the backline waiting to try and get a pick off. He might find one pretty soon.
Shout out to Kodak Black with the tunnel vision here, as neither of these teams want to see the other one winning right now. Back and forth we go, but it is POBO Esports that have locked this hill down. They do have the trophy system set up, ready to go, but now nades come in. Team Nade even comes in, but it's all blue in the kill feed there. But Sovereign able to find that last crucial kill to try to lock down some of this hill time. Back and forth, pinstripes in the kill feed, red, blue, red, blue. I can't tell who's got a hold on this map right now, and neither can the teams.
Live feed, you would think, but it's the kill cam only because everybody's getting destroyed every 5 seconds. Right now is opportunity here for Aspect to get now 1 but 2. He's gonna back off. He's gonna get that second one with the secondary hit in the backline as well, taking out both Teddy and Exotic.
I feel like I hear that cruise missile coming in from the side there as a couple of players just trying to lock it in. Maybe they've just been hearing things around the sub base as you can see a few different sides of the map here from where Sparks is sitting, as right now Sovereign continuing to be a nuisance on the map. 9 and 10 finds another one there. It's still pinstripes in the kill feed, but I gotta tell you, Ajax, Fourth Space Esports doing a very good job at thriving in all of the chaos right now. No matter how many times they go down, they are just willing to continuously throw bodies at hill.
It has been chaos and absolutely no control of it either, as we only just now cracked the 100 mark. We don't even get to see it go above it. Triple digits only finding itself now at this point as Driz gets a pick there on Exotic. Going to be able to potentially get 2. No, it's going to be Aspect who finishes the job. Chris Radio getting on the pick off on Aspect. Driz trying to keep things going, but Teddy shutting that down.
102-91, a first set of rotations that is just as mixy as you'd like. And now, still back and forth in the kill feed they go. Exotic and Teddy able to find 2 there. Sovereign tries to find the trades, but no more than that. He gets taken out from the back as well. Teddy Rex will find the trade onto him, but it is Fourth Space Esports able to lock down some of this early hill time and able to amount on that lead, which they have built now. 3 dead again in the feed. Sovereign will trade 1 back. It's still Fourth Space Esports making that time turn blue.
I mean, that's going to be so crucial right now. It has been so close. You can't afford to let points get away. And Fourth Space Esports be able to build a very momentary lead. We do have 4 of the red basically all hovering over on, but Teddy trying to have something to say about that as they're able to sneak their way back in and take that point back so fast.
Right back into the action is Sparks able to find 1 there, playing Ring Around the Rosie. He's gonna get sat down himself. Aspect with 1. Whoa, Aspect with 2. Beautiful turnaround there as POBO able to shut down the hill time that was for Fourth Space. Not able to garner a lot, but able to stop the bleeding as now they are locked in, ready to go here on P2.
I was about to say, bro, I have no idea how Aspect is still alive after all that, but he does finally get dropped. We're going to see a quick couple pickoffs really fast, though, in early on control from POBO, getting themselves here over on the P2 smartly ahead of time. They have to navigate, make sure that they keep the doors locked up, and they maybe will do so as we see who's that sneaking around the back. Exotic trying to sneak his way around the back. He's hoping to get a couple picks here. Nobody's paying attention to the back line, but one of them does. They notice it before he gets in.
And it's 3 dead in the feed as well for POBO, lighten the kill feed up red as well, trying to implement a lead change themselves. Now still 21 seconds to work with on this hill. Back and forth we go. Only a couple more seconds left before the lead change, but they're funneling over the top. They just continuously throw bodies onto the hill. They don't allow the lead change to come through. Fourth Space holds it down and continues to hold what is just a 7-second lead.
This might be one of those crucial points that kind of dictates the way the rest of the map goes, because they are ready. Well, actually, the early spawns coming in for POBO, getting themselves on over to the rotation, so never mind, that might be a very short-lived moment, but look at the positioning for all of Fourth Space. They have topside. They can keep an eye on everybody down below. Chris Radio trying to see if he can avoid getting dropped right now. Sovereign looking to catch that, but Sovereign gets kicked.
Only thing Sovereign caught right there was that nade to his face. Another kill comes from Driz there, but he's immediately traded by Exotic, and now it's still just mixy back and forth action and in the blender that is Subbase, as POBO Esports has amounted to take a 7-point lead, but only for a second, as it's, oh, I was going to say Exotic jumps right back in the hill, but he's going to continue to hold this top area. It's a good play from him as he can continuously see almost every hill from this spot. It is all quiet on the sub base for just a second. Very rare sights for a map like this.
It may be quiet right now, but it's going to get loud real soon. As we head on over towards the tunnel, we're going to see a quick shot coming in from Teddy over on the Sparks. But taking a look at that timer, Matt, I think we're going to time. We have less than 2 minutes left on the clock. We haven't even cracked 200 yet.
It's 141 apiece right now as Fourth Space able to take a little bit of a lead here in this Mixie Hill, as in they go. Driz able to find one. It's all pinstripes in the kill feed. Trades galore being played to a T. Driz trying to find something, but the stuns and the nades, everything being thrown at him right now as Aspect flying in on the hill. A slide cancel out. He's gone. Force and Spag trying to find their way in. Aspect just can't find any semblance of anything right now. Shake it and bake it around the hill is Exotic, and here comes Aspect in by himself, finding one, but no more than that. Sat down, and we continue to go back and forth as these players just funnel into each other here in the tunnel.
I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me right now. It is so difficult to play around every single aspect. You can't go in there without ever feeling comfortable. Right now, we're going to see a comfortable shot coming in from an Exotic. Oh, he might be able to get 2. Sovereign noticed that it was over by the door. No, does Sovereign catch him? Yes, he does. Trying to lay down, falling asleep on the job.
53 seconds left to go on this hill, but 1:19 to left on the game clock. We haven't even passed 170 as POBO Esports looking to try to implement another lead change. Nate comes in from Sparks. Ramby trying to find what he can see here. The shots in onto Sovereign are clean. He finds one, but the only bad part is 2 of his teammates go down on the other side of the map. There goes down Teddy as well. Ramby, the only man left up. The lead is in for POBO.
1 minute, 18 seconds left on the clock. 163 to 170. 20 seconds left on the point. You have to start considering maybe moving a little bit early because you cannot afford to not have the other portion of the map as you move over. Right now, things are just looking so good, but everybody falling once again. We're going to see Driz and Aspect will fall. Sparks also falling shortly after. Sovereign all by his lonesome to try and stop this control. And it's going to be new. It's going to be Fourth Space Esports taking back the lead once again as we approach that final minute.
I mean, we have hit now our 3rd set of rotations, and we're almost knotted at 170 apiece. It is Fourth Space that is starting to extend the lead ever so slightly here. 183 and counting, creeping up on that 200-point threshold. Driz in now from the bottom side tunnel, just trying to see if he can find a kill onto the side here. Nades out, stuns out, guns out for him as well. Sovereign playing the chase game, a little Tom and Jerry around as we go. Teddy will find the kill onto him. 195 to 172. Now POBO Esports starting to try to garner some time of their own.
Here comes Teddy, trying to see if he can get a pick over on the top side, but we're going to see Aspect trying to move himself back into position as well. Teddy has been figured out, though. Sovereign trying to go see if he can catch Teddy. Teddy's not paying attention to Sovereign, and he's going to get picked off.
and that's a huge kill for the side of Sovereign as he's able to find 2, take out the Hill player as well. That game clock continuously bleeding down. Only 50 seconds left to go. Less than a full hard point on the game clock. 202 to 177. Back and forth we go. No one able to dip their hill into the hill right now.
This is going down to the wire. We're going to see a final, we're going to see essentially a final fight here happening over on B2. This is where the final bout will be taking. We have seen multiple bodies drop. Fourth space already getting in on the P2. You can't afford to be getting picked off like this. Now 1-2, Chris catching both of them. Not noticing he almost gets 3.
Sovereign dropping down from the heavens, finds one onto him, but it's still fourth space in full control of this hill. Sparks flying in, almost gives one up there as we now into P2. Finally, POBO Esports starting to lock down some time, but they're down a good margin here.
They have absolutely no other option to just win every single gunfight from this point. They can't afford to get flanked. They can't afford to get picked off. And right now, Chris looking to see if he can get one right now. Teddy coming around the other side. All everybody converging over on the P2. We're going to see Exotic fall, though. We're going to see Ramby trying to cover everyone else, but so many are dead, and the points are being contested. You can't afford to have this contention going on. You have to keep gaining as POBO's starting to get it back.
And now for the side of fourth space with only 30 seconds left, they can really afford that. They just need to play vacant hill time here. Just keep POBO off the hill time. Let that 29 seconds run down, and that's exactly what they're going to try to do here. The game clock is in. The cruise missile is in as well. Aspect gets sat down. Exotic, Chris all finding 3 there. Now only 20 seconds left to go. Fourth space is going to elect to hop hill here. They're going to try to hit the 250 mark. 231 and counting. Exotic continuing to fry on the play. It's 30 seconds left. Exotic now on a 5 spree. He can't be stopped. 34 kills for him. Now only 10 seconds left to go. Fourth space can do it right here, right now.
They have a shot here. They have only 5 points left to go. They're going to freeze that timer, but now it's going to convert over. You can't afford to fight here for too long because the timer's going to run down. You need to cover everybody off the point. ASAP Aspect is going to fall, though. It's on Sparks and Triz to make it happen, and Sparks falls. Triz is the only one left who's going to be able to try and make things happen, and Teddy on the point to guarantee that they get those last 2, and it's going to be no job done for you. Fourth space Esports, nobody dealing with this #1 seed, getting the job done once again. How in the hell do they keep making these hardpoint matches so damn close?
I mean, if we keep going back and forth like this on these hardpoint masters, I am not going to have a voice by the end of the day. Please calm down. It cannot get closer than that. The game clock's running out. The 250 mark's being approached. Back and forth action, and it's exactly what we expected from Subbase. 4 players, 2 from each team there, over 34 kills.
And we're going back to back with it too, because we're going right back into hardpoint on terminal. If y'all were expecting any type of calm behavior, throw it to the wind, because fourth space has something to say about that trip they have taken down to the elimination side. But just a reminder, POBO also went game 5 and won their last one.
I mean, look.
I at this point, I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see the game 5. I feel like I need it at this point, biasly. Let's just get. Even though it was a 50-point stretch, that last 50 didn't really show up until the final seconds of the game there, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, they were really creeping around that 200-point mark for what seemed like 2 minutes. I mean, just back and forth. No one able to reach the hill whatsoever. It was absolute pandemonium there on Subbase map 3. And Ajax, it's exactly what we love to see on a map like Subbase. And just as you said, if you wanted calmness, if you wanted any semblance of control, throw it out the window, because we have got another hard point on terminal coming up right after this. But we gotta throw it to a quick break. The players are gonna grab some water. We're gonna grab some water as well. Everybody make sure you stay hydrated on the day. We have got some more great COD action coming up at you here at the Cheetah Modern Warfare 3 kickoff event. We'll see you right after this short break.
Sparks are flying and bodies are dropping as we make our way to game number 4 of this incredible set here at the Game Arena across Cheetah Modern Warfare 3 kickoff event. $8,000 on the line as well. All the stress is out. Everybody's feeling it. And right now it is a bout between fourth space Esports versus POBO. And we have gotten spoiled once again. Matt, I don't know how else to say it. We just keep getting back-to-back amazing sets.
Yeah, I mean, it's been back and forth all day long between these teams. And I mean, even earlier in a 3-0 series, a lot closer than the 3-0 story tells, right? And we've been saying that all weekend in a lot of these matches. But this one, getting us to that map 4, no clean sweep here. It's going to be interesting to see as we're heading into another hard point. Control is out, hard point is in. We're playing 2 of them in a row. Now heading on into Terminal. Ajax, it's really interesting going from a map that is so chaotic as Subbase to a map that is very, very straightforward, rotational heavy, lot of money hills as Terminal. Talk to me a little bit about the difference as we head into this one.
Well, I think back to that first game where early on the rotations were all in favor of Force Space. It really didn't change until the ending last minute or so where POBO started bringing it all the way back. And here on Terminal, you're going to see that very early and very often. But if you see bodies drop like that, where Exotic already losing out on that bout to Drizz, that's going to be a great way to start things off because you need to get Burger Town ASAP.
Oh, but Exotic here with a beautiful flank from back. Eski only going to be able to find 1 shot done by Teddy. That's going to be 3 dead in the feed for Fourth Space Esports as they're now going to be trying to look to lock in these P2 spawns of these P2 rotations. Such a money hill that this backstore makeup, whatever call out you have for it can be, as it does look to be POBO Esports in control of it right now. It's going to have to be the break on from Fourth Space.
Yeah, making that early move over to P2, very smart option. Making sure you control the pathway. We're going to see Sovereign pop his way right onto the store. So it's all about navigating over it. Not 1, but 2, but 3, but maybe 4. Instead, they stop the bleeding. If you don't slide in and get that shot, most likely seeing all 4 of them drop.
Absolutely, as it is POBO Esports that's able to hold a little bit first of this hill down, but they've got to be making sure they play their trades to a T here, and that's exactly what they do. 3 dead in the feed, and now Drizz with a little bit of a power position in this back office section.
Always been for many years. There's been such a big power position in that spot, and it still plays out here. We're going to see him take a trip behind the security lines, see if he can get through. The metal detector not going off with all that equipment that he has on him, and he's going to get 2v1'd. Not much you could really do there, but Sparks cleaning it back up after he was able to get that kill.
And now, just kind of like Subbase, a quick rotation from 2 to 3, right next door onto the plane. You gotta make your flight here, and it does look like Fourth Space Esports has locked down their tickets. They are in the plane. Only one person, number 4 there, Teddy, is here to lock this down. He's being converged on here. The pressure being applied. Teddy will be able to find 1, but no more than that, as it is POBO Esports clearing out P3, looking to lock it down, and it's a great start for POBO.
And a few times where it is not an easy way to hold down the plane is when it is 1 versus multiple. Everybody can start making you move exactly where you need, and they're able to do exactly that. It was almost a great money-making position for the fourth space, but that's just not going to happen right now. Is you're getting to that point where it feels like you need a relinquished position because everybody's fighting over it, but instead they're not willing to give up just yet. They're digging their way back through and getting some points back.
Yeah, and I mean, still 30 seconds to work with on this hill, so I mean, not a little bit of time to shy away from, especially for Fourth Space being down still about 20 seconds, but now it's all about the rotation towards the Burger Town. It's so mixy back here. It can be a money hill, but it can also be kind of a back and forth hill. It depends on if Fourth Space can get this setup locked in, but Sovereign and Sparks going to be able to find 2. They are applying pressure from this back metal detector side, but will it amount to anything?
One of the few times you can actually accept the fact that the ice cream machine is broken because they're currently shooting up the entirety of the restaurant. And right now we're seeing blood leaking all over the floor as we see 2 shots coming in from Sovereign and Sparks clearing house. But at the moment, they need to make the play and they need to get rid of Sparks, and Sparks refusing to give up home.
Now he is Burger King of the Burger Town right now, and POBO Esports locking down this much-needed hill time. We still got 42 seconds left to work with on this mixy hill. A little bit of a wall bang there for Sparks. He's having a good game himself right now on a 4th streak, maybe looking to implement a cruise missile here soon if he can continue this run. Aspected to be able to find 1 there. Drizz with the trade onto Chris, and now it is POBO Esports still with 30 seconds to work with, fully locked down this hill, as well as the quick rotations now to the bookstore. If they're able to lock down these 2 hills, snowball them together, chain them to peace, they could find themselves with a big lead here early through the first set of rotations.
Yeah, you saw the communication happening there with Fourth Space. They were wondering, do they converge in and do they get the finish? Oh, he's gonna get caught in the middle of... Oh, he gets saved? He got saved. Oh my god, he stopped. What a clutch save to still be able to get the Christmas off, because otherwise that would have been a free drop, stopping in the middle of that, and bodies are dropping all over the place, but it doesn't matter because they got early rotation over to the Mart. But it is all on Chris trying to make sure nobody gets through, and he does exactly that.
I mean, we said it could be more of a straightforward map, but if you just agree to headbutt each other right up in this middle hallway section, it can go as back and forth as sub base, and that's exactly what Ramby is doing here. Bottom AC area, just trying to be a nuisance, just trying to play around these spawns. Sovereign with a couple of shots in, that's the info onto Ramby, taking him out as well. Now it's all about the push onto Library, but the shots are coming in from everywhere. Space Esports has locked this hill down. It is theirs, it is in their possession. You are going to have to take this away from them.
Once again, to nobody's surprise, extremely close match off the start here. Everybody willing to contend early on. We're going to go ahead and get the trophies down, make sure we keep ourselves safe in there for a little bit longer. It's about moving back over to the lobby area, getting in that line, getting ready for some food. But the last thing you want to do is get caught by what they're cooking. Right now, it's not looking too good for the Space Esports just yet. I'm wanting to push early because everybody's navigating. You can see Ramby trying to get some data in the back line.
And look at this, another full set of rotations between these two teams, almost being split dead even. We are about to hit 112 a piece right now. And Ajax, these guys just keep doing it, man. I mean, we just keep getting incredible hardpoint games.
It's not even close to surprising at this point anymore. Everybody is putting every bit of effort they can to try and make sure that they keep their runs alive here in the launch tournament. And at the moment, POBO getting a very short second of repeat, 30 seconds still on the clock. Lots of points to gain here.
I mean, it's Championship Sunday. It brings out the best in these players as Aspect able to lock down two in the backside there. You can see the X-rays starting to hit these rotations. Sparks, though, number 8. He has a nice little flank here from the backside. If he's able to cause some damage, able to find one. Now maybe able to allow his teammates to push in from this backside, try to break on in this hill. But the trades are coming through for Space Esports. They're able to lock it down. This is a big money hill for them. They could implement a lead change here in about 20-30 seconds.
Incredible movement and callouts from Exotic. A big part of why they were able to get themselves in over there by Aspect getting picked off. He luckily was able to dip behind, but they know he's there. Not many places you could run to. He's going to need some help as everybody has made their way over on the Burger Town side, and POBO might be making a push pretty soon as they're starting to make their way over.
Sparks, Sovereign, both finding kills there as they try to push this from the back security area. Chris Randall with the snipes in, rather with the snakes, not gonna find anything there. Now Driz with a couple of shots as they try to make this break. Still 21 seconds left to work with on this hill, but Ramby trying to do everything he can. The trades are coming through. It's a 1v1 for Sovereign here. He gets taken down as well, and it's Space Esports have now implemented a lead change of their own here as Sparks trying to come down this long haul area. It's 2 dead in the feed. It's maybe one more up on the chopping block, and that's Exotic down. It's POBO Esports locking in their tickets for this long distance plane ride.
It's a nobody's surprise here on that second rotation back over the P3. What has happened? Well, an even game. It has been the same as what we just saw a second ago on sub base. A little bit less chaos in terms of open space, but it doesn't matter because they've controlled all the space right now. This is a perfect case scenario for POBO, having 2 of them controlling the plane, but it looks like Rampy making himself come through. He has data on where he is. He's right in the corner. They get the pick off they're looking for. That means you got to take the firefight to the center. They're going to get one. They're going to get another one coming in right now. Sparks trying to make his way through. Is he going to be able to get the stun? He is going to get one, but he gets picked off himself in 4th space, making that plane their home.
4th space absolutely locking down this P3, trying to garner some more hill time, extend this lead that they have built. This is one of the biggest leads we've seen, which is kind of crazy to think that because it's only 15 seconds. But we head back on now to P4. You've got to make your way onto Burger Town. It was it was a point that POBO Esports made in their last set of rotations to really lock down, and absolutely did with almost a full 60. Definitely could use that here.
Burger Town is the position that could take any lead and remove it immediately, as we see everybody locked down in spot. Aspect getting an early drop there, so now this gives an opportunity for the 3v2. They have it lined up. Ramby coming around the other side of the tunnel. They might be able to meet over the lobby. Ramby instead decided to go back off. Everybody slowing it down a little bit up until Aspect gets picked off there.
Yeah, you have to hit this as a team. You can't just funnel through one at a piece and get picked off. It's exactly what Space is doing. They're playing very well team CoD right now as they push their way on in. They're able to take the hill, cross that 200-point threshold, and extend that lead. A couple of kills go their way as well. Aspect is here trying to look to do some damage, but all of these players laying, hiding in spots. He's got too many angles to look at. Gets sat down. Sovereign might be the next one up on the chalking block. 20 seconds left. Burger Town absolutely locked down, clocked in. Shift being ran right now by Space Esports.
It's putting in that overtime. Like we said before, it's all about getting a massive point lead here at Burger Town or dealing with a deficit. And right now, that's what POBO faces. They do not like this position they're in all of a sudden. The last second on the clock, they have to win here on this rotation. Otherwise, it is curtains.
And it's not even just that, it's curtains for their whole tournament hopes. Backs against the wall, already down a game, 2-1. They've got to find a way in. There's only 6 seconds left. Sovereign flying his way in, trying to find one, but the bullets aren't there. Ramby finds the 5-spree. Over the wall he goes. He finds the kill. Sparks back in. Gets taken out by a nade. Force Space rushing back in. It's contested hill, but Aspect able to find the kill.
And for fourth space right now, they can throw bodies at the wall. It doesn't matter. They just need to get trades. That's all they need right now. They need to make sure to take everybody out. Everybody looking very composed. We're going to see a grenade come through. That's one for Ramby. We're going to see a trade off though from Sovereign. Who gets a pick? Does he get another one? Everybody coming through. Everybody's dying. They're starting to build this lead back.
And Rambo finally getting shot down. 3 dead at the fade clean. Driz is the only one left. He finds one, flies his way back in. It's a 1v1. It's a 1v1 that could be for the game. Driz just playing his life, snaking around. The help is here. POBO Esports will lock down the last 9 seconds of this hill. It's back over to P1. Who is there? It's the boys in blue.
Driz gave them a moment of reprieve to keep them still in the game, but they can't afford to lose this gunfight. They have no other option. Right now, they are contesting the point, but they can't let any points go in favor of fourth space. They are 4 points away from trying to finish it all. Looking for the clip on the side, but they don't get it. Instead, we're going to see bodies fall. Sovereign getting 2 over on the blue. Exotic falling 2, but Driz gets Exotic.
And it's still just a contested hill right time. Sparks is not going to move a muscle right here. Everyone's slowing down. Only one gunfight could really decide who wins. But look at Sovereign. Sovereign back, able to find one. A beautiful flank finds 2. Oh my. Broke the hill wide open for POBO Esports. And now it's going to have to be the rotation all the way over to the make-up side. POBO Esports cannot win it off of this P1. It's going to have to get done here. Aspect able to find one. He's going to try to find through this back security area. But Exotic able to take him down.
Right, it's all comes down to this. We're going over to the story, and right now, currently, everybody converging on it is fourth space, and nowhere to be found is POBO. 3 bodies have been dropped. They have to get over there now. There's 3 seconds left. Everybody's already lined up. They can't afford to let them get any other points. Right now, it comes down to these final fights. We see one go in favor of Sovereign. They're going to rush into the store. They have to take them out. There's 2 points left on the clock. They get in, and they stop the timer.
They stopped the timer at 2:48. Now the 2:40 mark being crossed by POBO Esports. Aspect is here. He has locked this hill down. Trophy system ready to go. 5 seconds left. One more hit for Portspace Esports. They fly in. That's 1, 2, 3. POBO Esports. You can't believe it. 250 to 248. They bring it all the way back. We're going to a map 5. POBO Esports here to make a stay.
If you had any question as to why POBO was able to get that game 5 in the last set, here is your answer. They had no other option other than to converge in a straight line onto a perfectly lined up position for Ramby in the store. And if they screw that up, the game is over. They win that. They get both points held down, looking at both entryways. No other shot is fourth space. They just have to get in themselves to try and make sure things happen. They can't afford to take safety. You can't throw any grenades in. And my God, what an incredible job to once again push us to another close match, and that time beating somehow that match we had the other day at 250 to 248 final seconds, and we're heading to Search to finish it all out.
I never thought that we would see a map that would make me lose my mind as much as that map we watched yesterday, 250 to 247 on Invasion. POBO Esports and Fourth Space Esports say, nah, I'll give you one better. 250 to 248 on Terminal. You can't ask for anything better as a CoD fan.
Yeah, just a reminder, by the way, this is for 5th place. This is not for first and second. This is for 5th place as we look at the #1 overall seed here being sent by New Jersey, trying to keep their bracket run alive and in a perfect position to try and finish the job. They lose not only they lose 2 fights in a row from P1 to P2 where they had the spot first, but they got picked off by that incredible play from Sovereign, sneaking his way around that allowed them to get the points they needed for P1. And then even with the control that they had already lined up, everybody was dead. Everybody was dead. They had to make a play. They had no other option, and they still get the job done.
It's just incredible CoD being played between these two teams. Every single hard point that we have had, the 200-point threshold has been broken by both teams. 250 to, I believe, 203, 250 to 207. Then we get 250 to 248. The only thing that could have been closer is 250 to 249. If we see that today on Championship Sunday, this chair is going to go out that window back there. Okay, it's going out the window.
This is one of those times I wish I was in the venue, because like, even though we get the opportunity to cast remotely, and a big shout out of course for them to letting us do that, but I would love to feel the energy in the room right now. As you saw everybody looking in and checking them out, they were stressed, people were popping off, and it was amazing down to the wire action. We got to slow it down a little bit now as we get over to search, but man, it's going to be the highest potential fear, stress, and everything you could ask for as we take a trip over to High Rise for our last map of this set.
And, you know, for Fourth Space Esports, again, we talked about their mental regain coming into this match after losing 0-3 earlier to New Jersey. You get into this match, you get a 2-1 lead on the series, you get to 248. You are 2 seconds away from closing out this series, sending the other team home, moving on in this losers bracket and really getting a foothold on this Championship Sunday. All of a sudden, a couple of gunfights don't go your way. It's a last-ditch effort push into makeup. They're able to play the trades, lock it down, and now you're heading into a map 5 do-or-die High Rise. Ajax, what has got to be the comms going on over there? Because seemingly to me, it's either you're completely checked right now, it's silent, you don't know what to say, or right now you're just saying, all right, it all doesn't matter. One map, High Rise, that's all we're looking at right now. It's 2-2, this is all that matters. We win this map, we're moving on.
I mean, there needs to be a lot to be said, to be honest, because the fact that both multiple times POBO, their comms are lit right now. They are feeling so good because they have made multiple comeback scenarios where they're able to get the job done, and multiple times when they lost, they still almost won. They were right there with them the entire time. They only lost to crucial endgame fights, and that time they didn't. So if I'm Fourth Space Esports, I am thinking to everyone, hey, look, it happened. It is what it is. We still were able to get those wins before. They got the one clutch on us. Even though we had the match ready to go, we are not out of it yet. You still have a game. You still have a chance. And there's a reason why we were #1 overall. We're going to make sure we leave here #1 overall, trying to take it at the end. But they have a lot to prove with how confident POBO is about to go into this map 5.
And, you know, we talked about it as well before the series even started, that these teams that are coming from the losers bracket have already been playing with that pressure on their shoulders. Every single match is an elimination match. And even though POBO didn't necessarily make a long losers bracket run, they have still been in the losers bracket at least through the latter half of yesterday and starting in it today. They have felt the pressure before. They've been here before. They've even been in a 5-map series just today before coming in here. This is POBO's game. This is where they like to be. They like that map 5 pressure. They seemingly have the map 5 ice. Definitely had the ice in that match right there. I gotta go with POBO Esports, man. I'm picking the upset pick. I think we're gonna see the #1 series get double first rounded here on Championship Sunday.
You know, a lot of times so far throughout this, I've decided to go the opposite end because it's been fun to have that conversation, but I think I'm going with POBO. I think the way that they finished out that match in the worst possible case scenario that you could have ever asked for, they clutched it out. And Search wins championships. We've seen it so many years before, and it's going to play out here in this last game, no matter which way you look at it. And with how clutch they were able to make those position pushes when they didn't have the right to win some of those fights, they still won. That's exactly why I feel confident enough that I think POBO probably takes it here in this last match.
And I love that you saying Search and Destroy wins you championships, and it's a weird best of 5, right? We don't have that control mid-map. We get 3 hard points. It could tend to favor the Respawn team a little bit more in that sense, but you see that POBO, that 6-3 win in that second S&D, I feel like this was their plan. I feel like these guys might be some S&D stars. I really feel like their game plan going into these best of 5s is, hey, let's steal one of the 3 hard points away, get us to that map 5. We're confident enough in our S&D prowess to take both S&Ds. And if that's the case, the scales definitely tip even more into the favor of POBO Esports. Everything seems to be going their way right now. The storm is a brewing for the side of POBO. And I'm really feeling like just the losers bracket run that they're continuing to make here really could be a storyline heading into it. We talk about High Rise. We talk about the sniping ability of Aspect as well. Do you think the snipe becomes a big factor here in this map?
I think early on, yes, but I think late game, no. A lot of the straight up gunfights have been in favor for POBO, so I don't know if they want to leave it up to having to have the 1v1 come down to the snipes, but I think early, yes, you want to establish dominance, you want to be able to get early data as well by bringing out the boomstick, because you make sure you catch the routes people are taking. You start making them fearful of deciding to pivot to A, therefore they have to converge on B, which makes it way easier to light them up with a grenade party. So early, yes, just for conditioning. Later on, though, I think we go back to the AR fights. I think that they've been winning way more in that game, too. And it's probably going to be what happens. You talked about the big storm coming, too. Hopefully, they don't need to build a boat and get onto it, because it might be swimming off on that big end. Noah may not be on that team, but he might be coming and visiting to bring them along and leaving fourth space behind at the moment if they can't figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, it's a do or die map from both of these teams. The loser goes home. You're out top 6. The winner, however, you're going to be moving on, and you're going to be able to fight another day and another match here in the losers bracket. Our production did toss the bracket up for a quick second there. Sorry, we missed out talking about that, but Acrylic gets the 3-0 win over the Saints. So the Saints, I know, I was about to say, your boys have fallen there in the losers' corners. Team Acrylic is not done yet. They suffer that 3-0 loss to the Houston Spartans, although we talked about it as well, the 3-0 not telling the story of that full map. Beautifully played CoD from both of those teams, even a round 11 there in map 2 that just doesn't go their way. They're able to bounce back and now await the winner of Fourth Space Esports and POBO Esports, which it's kind of sad to think about, Ajax, that we could be seeing an amazing match here just for somebody to be the next person up on Team Acrylic's chopping block.
And look, they got something to prove after getting knocked down there by the Spartans, and they had a couple of close matches, but that last one, not so much. They ran away from it. They want to get that rematch up against Conway, who's chilling up in the winner's side. You already know he wants to see the boys get that matchup again, but he mentioned it. And their game, he knows how they play. He's played them all the time. He gets how they work. The Saints, though, weren't prepared for that, and I got a lot of entertainment and joy out of watching Prod put in some work. Proof was right there with them. The entirety of the Saints, showing why the color purple could still be rocked hot that day. But man, it's not a good way to go out in a 3-0. But they still had to take that trip all the way to 5th place after getting sent there by Houston in the first place back in round 2 of winners. So good job to the Saints. They are going to fall here at 5th. And they're going to find out who's going to be sitting there with them at 5th in a moment, too. Whenever we get this match started, it's going to be one of these two who has fought their way all the way through to this point. It's almost sad, if you will, that this isn't Grants. Because, like, I don't know how people follow up this set.
It's going to definitely be hard to follow up this set. I mean, 250 to 234 taken by fourth space. Then you hit Invasion S&D. POBO Esports gets the MWIII win 6-3. Sub-base, always a MWIII map, back and forth. We almost hit the time limit on that map. Both teams as well crossing the 200-point threshold. And then the absolute masterclass on Terminal from both of these teams, 250 to 248, almost filling up the time slots once again. And now heading in to an S&D high-rise that is going to also be a crazy, crazy MWIII map, man. I mean, back and forth. One more prediction as we do get word from production. We are loading in one more prediction here. You gotta give me a score line as well. Who are you going with?
Okay. Thrown in the score line too. I think
Absolutely.
I think POBO takes it 6-4. I think we have a close back and forth for a little bit there, but I think POBO has shown over every single match they've stayed with them the entire time. Fourth space has been right there, but that was a tough one to lose in that last game. And when it gets down to the wire, maybe that happens again, and I'm feeling confident in the fact that they take it 6-4.
I mean, that's not a bad pick. I was going to go the map 5 round 11 because I figured why not after a series like this? It just seems right. But I feel like I'm going to be asking for a little too much. I think I'm also going to go 6-4 POBO Esports. We normally go the opposite ends, but I think me and Ajax definitely rocking on the same vibe here on Championship Sunday, as well as both of these teams right now, man. I mean, just back and forth. No one even able to win 2 maps in a row. And, you know, if we do go on that trajectory of no one winning 2 maps in a row, maybe 4 space. So maybe a little bit of intel there for you, for our bettors on the money line. I'm not sure. But,
you know, even though we may not be on the side of fourth space just from that last game, you also remembering back to the fact that this is the #1 seed overall.
Absolutely.
They got sent down here on a big upset. But there's a reason why they're the #1 seed. There is a reason why they have proven the fact that they deserve to be up there. And when push comes to shove, if you've been in that position before, you can get the job done. And you don't get the #1 overall seed without proving that you can get the job done at that. So I'm willing to be proven wrong. I'd be excited to see it happen too. Of course, I like rooting for the underdog first, so I'm definitely feeling POBO on this, but would not be shocked to see 4th space also bring it all the way back.
No, not at all. And as we're trying to get loaded into this one, we'll take a quick look at that bracket once again, because I do want to talk about that Houston Spartans versus New Jersey Prodigy. Obviously, New Jersey finding the gigantic upset on 4th Space Esports. We were hearing them screaming through Conwa's mic earlier on the interview. Talk to me about this map, because it's almost what seems like a David versus Goliath situation, right? You have the Houston Spartans, who may not be the #1 seed, but have definitely looked like the most consistent team at the tournament so far. And you're going up against a team like New Jersey Prodigy that is here to make a name for themselves. They got some absolute shooters on that squad. How do you, as Houston Spartans, handle the hot run and the underdog story that's coming from the New Jersey Prodigy?
To quote Conwa earlier today, he woke up feeling like a champion, and it's really hard to navigate around someone who's feeling that confident. He spoke as if he already is going to hold the trophy, but he did mention there's still more COD to play, so you gotta keep it locked. You gotta make sure you don't lose it. But even in the map where he didn't perform as well, where Choco picked it up there on search, what happened as soon as they got to terminal? He feasted. He was hungry, and he was able to get the job done once again, and this is a very important part of this too. You mentioned earlier, no control. It has been primarily hardpoint. If we're going to see mostly that throughout the matches, New Jersey is going to be struggling to deal with that same level of success. I'm not saying they can't get it done, but all I'm saying is that nobody's really been able to stop it yet. And now map #5 is underway. One of these two finishes at 5th place here at the launch tournament.
And for the other one, moving on to face Team Acrylic in the losers semifinals, POBO Esports versus 4th Space. Heading up right here.
We're currently bot underneath, just hovering underneath B, just to see if anybody wants to find their way over. Olive red, just waiting it out. You see POBO not really trying to move early. Of course, we mentioned it earlier. Snipes early on to get your data. You want to figure out what people are up to. We already got one hovering over by the big oil tank up on top. You do not want to see that thing get lit off. If you are hanging out by it and we see some grenades going for data, everybody converging up B, and we get a drop there on Teddy.
Yeah, and it's already kills going every which direction. Aspect with the boomstick, letting it ring, finds one there, and actually gives POBO Esports the man advantage in the round, but he's got to be careful himself to not get taken down now. A couple of jumps, a hop, and a skip, and he is out of there with his life. The shots on from Sovereign are clean, and that is a 1v3 already for the side of 4th Space Esports, and already a POBO Esports round.
Sovereign, as usual, nothing but clean and consistent. You can always rely on Sovereign early in the map, at minimum, and that's exactly what happened in Aspect, sneaking around. As I'm trying to get back over to the bomb, you had no other choice. We're going to see the first point go that way, but will it stay that way has been the question that normally doesn't work out for the one in the lead, as every single time, Matt, they have been going back and forth.
Absolutely, and it's going to be interesting to see as well if POBO Esports able to lock this in and really get a good lead here early. Ooh, a snipe flying right by Chris, giving him a bit of a haircut there. A little bit of a fade with the 2-guard on the side. As we do
make sure that
Sovereign.
You don't take that razor to the side of your face. That is not going to feel too good for you as you're trying to get a line of sight. Only able to look through one eye at that point, but at the moment, looks like everybody is considering the idea of heading towards B. You can see 3 of them lined up over there. Only one who's over on the other side, of course, is Aspect on that sniper, waiting to see if somebody pokes their head out.
Still all 4 men alive for both of these teams right now. As we're just under 50 seconds left to go in the round. POBO Esports finding a way right now, trying to make their way onto a site. Slow action here on High Rise.
Very stressful situation. I mean, the stress is at peak right now with the last game, and that's going to be a quick pickoff for Sovereign. Sneaking around the back and not paying attention was Chris.
Oh, but this is a big spot for Teddy. I'm not sure if they've cleared this out. He could look to do a lot of damage here. The trigger discipline finds one, finds 2 in the back. Now maybe even a 3rd on the bottom High Rise, but not going to see Sovereign. Now the bullets coming in from Exotic. The shots in from Sovereign, not good. He's got to expect a reach out, but Aspect Finds one on the other side of the map with the pistol. Even
Like you
things up
said,
into a
calling
2v2.
it out on the money, not paying attention, and not clearing out the zone that led to a double kill for free for Teddy. You take that every day to the bank. And now we got to get that defused at the moment. That will not happen as Fourth Space had complete control.
Absolutely. You got to check your corners and the nice ratty plays coming out of Fourth Space there. You've got one in the elevator, and then you've got Teddy on the top helicopter coming down, laying down the shots. Ooh, and a little bit of a body shots there as well. We're feeling spicy in a map 5.
I like that too, because Teddy dropped immediately game number 1, and what does he do to answer back? Well, a 4-piece. You take that every day of the week. That's a message sent from Teddy.
That is the ace in the round from Mr. Teddy Rex, wrecking all of the players on the POBO side. We're still knotted up here, 1 apiece, and it's just like you said, Ajax. We're gonna go back and forth on this one.
Not shocking whatsoever. This has been everything we could have asked for. Right now, Sovereign's going to have a guest company coming in from Ramby over on the right side, and he's going to get picked off for it, not recognizing Ramby heading over. He was in the middle of setting up the trophies, so that gives them a early lead of 4-3.
Man advantage in the round. Driz going to find one to even things up, though, for POBO Esports. 3v3 Aspect. That all-important sniper in his hands, trying to find a peek. Oh, I don't know how he doesn't see him there. We did, but he doesn't.
He looked away at the last second and just did not see Teddy poking his head out. Teddy is ever elusive, but he did get dropped though, so Teddy does not get to continue that attempt towards cruise missile, which of course gives you so much info. By the way, both Sparks and Exotic just not noticing each other as they walked by, so there could be a very interesting firefight pretty soon.
There's a lot of awkward gunfights going on, a lot of shoulders being thrown. I think Exotic might have the drop here. He does have it onto Driz. Renaissance the second. Now all onto Aspect. Flies in, finds one, sliding around the second, gets the second, and now could be the early defuse in for Exotic, but he's only got 12 seconds left. He's got to find this kill. He's got to find it now. I thought he might have seen him up top, but no. Now having to go for the defuse. No time left, and Fourth Space Esports able to clutch out the round. It got a little mixy, it got a little shaky, but they're able to lock down that last kill, and Exotic clutches up in the round for Fourth Space.
This all coming from the fact that Exotic and Sovereign didn't see each other at one point. If that happens, Exotic never gets in the position to win that fight underneath the heli and getting back up there, because Aspect was able to clean house, but he couldn't find Exotic, who was able to get back up top, seal the deal to prevent them from having a 2-1 deficit.
Now, for Fourth Space. Oh my god! Nah!
Where'd your head go? Where'd your head go, stupid? Let's go ahead. You gotta go pick it up. It's rolling over there. We got Rolling Stones, and the only one who's really trying to deal with things right now is Chris, wondering what his life decisions are as we continue this round 4.
My man said, alright guys, let's hit a good site here. Let's have a good rap. Hey, where'd Chris go? Chris, you there? No, Chris is off the side of the high rise right now. What a shot.
Clear comms. We can't hear Chris.
Chris being set to the grave early. That is going to be on the highlight reel later for sure, as POBO Esports has the man advantage in the round as well. Now looking to maybe implement a bomb plant here. 40 seconds left to get it down. Teddy Rex, though, will be playing this B site, trying to lock it down for the side of Fourth Space. He's got the all-important job and the all-important gunfight, trying to stop this plant.
Yeah, speaking of, Sparks and Aspect both kind of covering the routes they need. Aspect already knows that Exotic is in the building, so he tried to take a shot at him earlier. We're going to see a sneak around from Teddy, though. Does he get 2? No, he at least gets 1 in the midst of it.
Gonna be a quick bomb plant here. It's got to go down for the side of Ramby. A couple of shots in. Ooh, shooting at dead bodies there. Gets a little tricked up. Now the shots come through. Ramby's going to be able to take out one, but will he expect the second shot from Driz right on the bomb? It's going to be an interesting second.
Very tough decision on where you want to converge in on, but that's going to be Aspect getting dropped. It's all on Driz. Driz gets 1. Is he going to be able to find Exotic this time? Exotic last time was able to make sure that that didn't happen. Exotic gets figured out. Exotic is going to have to back off, and both of them deciding, here comes the slide, and Exotic wins out once again, refusing to let the team get the dub they've been looking for.
Exotic in a 1v1, forget about it. I do never want to face this guy in a 1v1. Fourth Space Esports finding their 3rd round in a row, Ajax.
This is exactly what they need. They have been able to put on a lead, but Matt, it bears repeating. multiple times. That was almost him getting dropped too. He was as red as you can see. But man, POBO, when their back has been against the wall, is when they've been able to make things happen the most. That's why right now the most crucial position is this 3-1 lead. You need to build a 3-game cushion here if you're Fourth Space.
I mean, this is the big swing round, right? It's the difference between Fourth Space being up 4-1, or POBO Esports getting this thing a little bit closer at 3-2. We've got to see a nice position coming out from Sparks here. I like trying to play the Kurt angles here. Not able to find anything just yet. It's a slow push right here from the side of Fourth Space.
Mr. America over there utilizing that budget indeed. All of the equipment is out, and without worry, we're going to get a toss out to get some data. We do get a little bit. We get a hit over there, so we know everybody's counting to converge on B. But Driz catching the ladder climb from Teddy in an unfortunate position.
Now Sovereign trying to peek this outside elevator. It's going to be interesting, a gunfight here. I have to see if he chows this top area. It'd be a weird space to look, but now the shots come through. Sovereign finds one, Sparks with a nade, and now all left on to Exotic. This should be POBO's round, and that it is 2-3 now. POBO Esports gets things a little bit closer here in our do or die map 5.
I was gonna say, does he do it a third time? But that time down 1-4. Worst position you could ask for. Driz catching him as he came over, and that is a moment of reprieve that you needed, because like you said, it's a difference between a 3-game, a big deficit, to feeling comfortable enough still here with a 3-2.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you gotta find something. You saw Aspect was playing with the snipe early. Anything, any player you're really looking towards for POBO Esports, maybe to implement this comeback and avoid going down 2 rounds once again.
See how things go. Aspect still on the sniper in the back line, starting to move his way forward a little bit. Meanwhile, Sovereign is right in the middle of the fray. He's all over on Heli. He's got 2 bodies around him. Of course, one of them is bot side, but they might go up to go take a look at him. Ramby trying to take a peek, but gets picked off by Sovereign.
And beautifully played trades there from the side of POBO Esports. Little stun check out from Sovereign, as they do have the man advantage in the round. Now looking to maybe rotate this bomb over towards the B site, which, if you look at your mini-map, definitely a good play. There's 2 of those players from Fourth Space just laying in wait there on the A site. Now the rotation comes over as well. Teddy Rex up. Chris going to be able to find the kill there. Still a 2v3 situation.
Prime position to start making your way over to the bomb, as you see them doing so right now. We're going to slide our way in. Nobody is around. Nobody is home. But at the moment, it looks like Chris is maybe considering taking a peek over there, but he doesn't. That's going to be a free plant.
Aspect, how do you not see him? He runs right by him in the silent footsteps. Oh, now Chris finally sees him. Oh, no!
How are you alive? How are you alive? How are you alive? Oh, my God.
It's a little windy out here. The shot's going every which way, but Chris able to lock down that kill, get things into a 2v2, but that bomb still planted there on the A site. You've got to find the defuse if you're Fourth Space.
We're going to have some guest appearances coming in from Sparks. We get the trade-off, and POBO, once again, it does not matter when they are behind. They did it in a clutch situation just last game, and you've got a whole 11 total potential matches to make it happen, and they're doing exactly that. As we look at that number go to even here in this map number 5.
3 apiece. Something we have not been a stranger to whatsoever. Close matches between Fourth Space and POBO Esports might be the series of the tournament, even if this ends in a 6-3 fashion.
You know what? I needed this. But a quick data. Ran over to B, and he knows and fully aware that he is over there, so time for them to converge on the point. Looks like they're going to do so. Everybody getting ready to jump him.
Oh, Sparks just being the smoke criminal, able to find one, but no more than that. Teddy plays the trades perfectly, able to even things up, back into a 3v3, bomb back in hand, rather still down over there, but it's down really close to Teddy, so shouldn't be a problem. The bad timing for Aspect, could have had one dead to rights, but now he's going to have to back out as Teddy's going to be flying around the backside, able to take him out. That's going to be the round advantage for Fourth Space Esports. They've got that bomb, able to be planted on the B site now, a 2v3 situation. POBO is going to have to converge on this very, very quickly, or at least find a kill on the other side of the map.
Now, what's Driz and Sovereign going to do? I mean, if you're POBO, you're definitely relying heavily on what they've performed so far. We're looking at 7 kills over on Driz, along with the great performances Sovereign has had in every match. A big part of why they've had their clutches lately. But right now, they have one of the worst case scenarios, 3-2. Bomb is planted. They're both in the building. Every single line is covered.
Yeah, I mean, this is just not the position that you really want to see yourself in for POBO Esports. You're down a man, the bomb's planted, as you said, and it's already 34 seconds. Pressure amounting quickly. Driz trying to find one of these players, maybe got a little info onto one of the pixel glitch, but Sovereign will be trying to make his way up onto this B site, but Ajax, it's still just mixy action. It doesn't look like it's going to be able to come in.
Big reveal right there too. Teddy not falling. We're gonna see a firefight coming through. Sovereign's gonna win out there on Ramby, and that is not gonna be what you were hoping. No, does he make it? Does he do it? Does he do it?
Oh! No, he doesn't get the defuse. He's not able to get the defuse. POBO Esports. I thought they might have been able to sneak away with a round there, but another clutch kill from Exotic. How many will he get throughout this map? He's got 5 kills, and I think 4 of them have been in clutch situations.
That's crazy how Exotic almost threw the round because he was shooting at the floor and wasn't getting the hits, but he moved back over at the last possible. I'm pretty sure that was 1 second left on the defuse. Exotic has been just on fire. There's no other way to put it. He's you need to keep him alive every single time.
I don't know if he's been on fire, as rather he might be icy, man. I mean, this guy has just got the ice in his veins no matter what kind of situation it goes to. He got a little bit of a mixy shots there in that last 1v1, but able to find it. Teddy Rax already with some couple early shots on. That's information for the side of fourth space on this defensive side, just looking to hold it down.
Ooh, firing lines coming through. Aspect almost losing out on the sniper battle right there, but let's see what he can do to try and sneak his way through. I think he has a little bit of data on B. I'm pretty sure he saw Teddy dropping his way down. That's why Teddy's still prone, trying not to get caught.
Still 4v4 action. It's a huge round. It's the difference between match point for fourth space esports and us being knotted at 4 apiece. POBO trying to see what they can find.
This is funny enough, the exact scenario I was wondering, because fourth space goes up here, but if POBO clutches it, are they able to stop them from going up in the lead? Sparks getting the picks he needs, now a 2-3.
Bomb in hand as well. Driz backing him up. Smoke's going to be able to be implemented here, but it's 18 seconds left on the clock. That bomb plant's going to have to come in quickly. Exotic? Are you kidding? This guy has the ice in his veins. Stops the plant from coming in, but it's still a 2v1 situation. That bomb has to go down. Exotic finds another one, and he's out of there. Gone forever. Fourth space esports. Another round off the back of Exotic. This kid is clutch.
Search and he shall destroy. That is 3 or 4. I can't remember anymore. This man has gotten this entire team on his shoulders when it comes down to the final bit that he needs to make sure they get the dub. He refuses to relinquish a win for them, and they are now sitting on set point.
Fourth space esports on match point. Nothing can be done anymore. POBO Esports, your back is against the wall. And it does look like we threw it to the casters for a second. Not sure what's going on in the
got
match.
A little update on that. Just check the look over for production. We did have a DC during that, so we're going to go ahead and get that match back up and running in a moment. But we got a moment of reprieve to sit there and think about the actions incoming. Exotic has been the main piece of the puzzle that they cannot solve right now. What does POBO do to shut down the incredibly clutch plays that he keeps pulling off?
I mean, there's not a lot that POBO's necessarily doing wrong. It's just these situational plays that Exotic is able to make time and time again. He shuts down the plant, not one time, but twice in that last match. After he kills the second planter, he's got the mental wherewithal to know there's not enough time to get that bomb down. I need to just run away. That's exactly what he does, and it gives POBO Esports that deficit now that they're staring in the face. 3 rounds to 5 right now. They've got to win 3 in a row if they want to continue their tournament hopes here, or else we are going to be saying goodbye to POBO in a very, very dramatic fashion. But I think it's what you said earlier. This fourth space esports was our first seed for a reason. They have that clutch ability as much as any other team. It could be, hey, you got to the venue, you had a long day yesterday, it's early in the morning, it's Sunday championship action CoD. They get caught off guard there early. Now you have this series that has been a grueling series. Back and forth, map to map, everyone over 200 points on the hard points. Now you find yourselves in that position to win this game. And Ajax, we talked about it before where we really were we were on POBO's side. We really felt like everything was in their favor. Now backs are completely against the ropes here. They are eating all of the punches. They have got to find a way to fight back and find 3 rounds in a row.
That's why I think they can do it, because they've been in that position multiple times before. You talked about Exotic running away, but he is here to play, and that is the biggest problem they've had entirely throughout this set. They can't stop him. They literally can't stop him, but it is time to stop him. You have no other choice. You're looking at a 5-3 deficit. We will be back in that match momentarily again. Thank you for everybody who is still tuning in, keeping us going right now. I know it's definitely something we want to get right back to as well. We'll be back in that in a moment. Again, we're on high rise 5-3, currently in favor of fourth space esports, currently doing their best to hold down that bracket run, because they still want to show that there's a reason why they were in the best position seeding wise to try and win the whole damn thing.
And it is going to come down to just a couple of rounds to decide who is going to go home top 6, or if you're going to solidify yourselves in the final 4. Get that matchup against Acrylic. You're most likely going to be the underdogs heading into that match. Realistically, for either of these two teams, I think even fourth space esports being that number 1 seed, I think we've just seen the consistency more out of Acrylic day in and day out through this weekend. I think I'd have to give the nod to them regardless of who edges this map out. But nonetheless, a top 4, final 4 spot in this LAN, $8,000 on the line to play for. It doesn't get better than this.
Yes, and again, apologies for the delay, but it's time to play. We are back in it. It is now a 5-3 lead for the game of fourth space esports, trying to keep themselves alive.
Keep yourself alive, like the great words of Freddie Mercury. That's exactly what POBO has to do here. You need 3 rounds in a row clean. If you're just now joining us, we had a little bit of a reset for Space Esports, currently up 5-3 on match point, not only map point.
Ooh. We see a little sneak gameplay coming in here from Chris, trying to find his way back around. And is it the tactics you need when it comes to the final play here to see if maybe you catch someone slipping? Oh, he's going to get caught in his way up, though. Driz not having anything to do with that.
Oh, read like a book before bedtime there. Sits him to bed as well. Exotic will find one. Another clutch kill for Exotic as he evens things up into a 3v3. 40 seconds left to get this bomb down. Ooh, for Space Esports, you gotta get away with your life right there. Good trades being played. Sparks with this kill. How has he not spotted him? Finally does, and now Sparks still had the drop on him. Able to get the kill there. 2v2, but bomb's gonna get planted here, Ajax.
Mr. Exotic, of course, has been nothing but on a tear. Once again, putting up another 2 in a row. Free bomb planted here for Rambi and Exotic. And this is the worst case scenario you could possibly ask here for POBO to try and navigate around the impossible that has been him.
I mean, the impossible is right. The Exotic warrior flying through here. Sparks finding one in the side right there. Catches one lacking, but Rambi able to win that. Now it's a 1v1. Driz versus Rambi. 18 seconds left to find this defuse, but the shots are in, and fourth space esports clutches up in the end. 6-3 in a map 5. Desperation time. They're able to clutch up, find the ice, and secure that final 4 spot against Acrylic. And for POBO Esports, it is a very, very sad goodbye and end to their tournament hopes this weekend. They gave it all on the sticks here in this series. They forced 5 maps out of the number 1 seed, take it down to the wire, but in the end, just too much talent on that fourth space esports side.
Incredible job getting all the way to this position as well. Even though you go down in 5th place after you get through the sadness McChickens that everybody goes to get when you drop out of bracket, you're going to be feeling pretty good about your performance today. They're here in this spot in the first place because of the clutch plays they constantly had, but it was new. It was a new attempt at trying to take out the number 1 seed overall, who just picked it back up, and they just couldn't stop Exotic at the end. He was really the biggest problem that they couldn't deal with. Rambi was right there with him alongside it to make sure that even after Exotic fell, Rambi, who was the all-star of the show back in map 1 and map 2, was still able to make sure that that's exactly what they get to say once again, that he is a part of why they won and why they're back at it here in the guaranteed at least 4th position heading into loser semis.
Yeah, and now it sets us up a match between a number one seed in fourth space esports and I believe our number three seed in Team Acrylic, a matchup that I know personally I was wanting to see ever since they dropped down into the losers bracket. It's definitely two teams you thought you'd see play at some point this weekend, and now they are going to have to square up for a chance to make top three and that losers final. This is, I mean, it doesn't get better than this, man. It's Championship Sunday COD.
You're right on the money with it, too. The usual suspects are here, except for one. We have the top three seeds overall that have made it back to the Final Four, and it's a guarantee that we'll see at least all four of them. But one of them doesn't get to sit on the podium because it's Houston and New Jersey Prodigy, the number 12 seed overall, that were able to make it to that spot in the first place, that have a shot to try and knock down Houston into the loser side, which would be insane.
And it would be. I mean, if Houston gets knocked down into that losers bracket too, that's one of those teams that you just do not want to run into whatsoever because they have been on an absolute tear. I don't know if I see them losing to New Jersey. I think they're going to be able to move on to that grand finals and be our first grand finalist. But the matchups that we have for this Final Four cannot be better. And speaking of that, let's go ahead and talk with one of an absolutely important part for that four space esports squad. And Mr. Chris, how are we feeling today?
We're feeling good, man. Always good to have a grueler of a match, to be honest. That was insane. It was fun. I don't know, bro. We're really underprepared in hardpoint right now, but honestly, I'm fine with it. We're in losers, so we get to just play more reps and get better as the tournament goes on. I'm really confident in our S&D completely, so, I mean, I'm just excited to keep running through these losers and keep getting better throughout the day.
You know, I heard a lot of people this weekend talking about how they didn't get in as many scrims as they may have wanted to on hardpoint leading up to this event. And that stress level that happened at the end there, POBO did have an incredible clutch to close out Game 4. What were the comms like going into Game 5, trying to recollect yourselves?
Like I said, we kind of know we're underprepared in hardpoint right now. We got like 3 sets of scrims before the event. Like we just, I don't know, we played S&D a lot, like for the first week of the game. So we're just not worried about it. Like we're just like choking real small things. It's not like we're getting destroyed in hardpoint. We're just like messing up on a few small things that we got to work on, and we're really confident in our search. So we just went in and did what we know how to do.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's definitely not like you guys are getting smoked on any hardpoint maps whatsoever. All of those hardpoint maps, both teams reaching over the 200-point threshold. It was tight contested down to the wire. Leading into that last map, I mean, we did see Exotic make some crazy plays in that last one. Talking back with Ajax about the comms, I mean, how were you guys communicating in that one? Especially then, you guys have a couple of resets throughout the S&Ds too, enough to throw wrenches in the plans. A lot of things got thrown at you in that series. After going down 0-3, y'all's first series of the day, just having a series like this kind of re-energize you guys a little bit. You said sometimes it's good to have that grueler, especially on a championship Sunday. Now moving in, do you guys kind of take that and run with that?
Oh, yeah, we're going to be rolling. I mean, the adrenaline got pumping. We tested our ice levels a little bit. Like, we know we're going to come through. So, and John's just a beast. He's my old man. He's a vet. He's made those plays probably 10,000 times in his career. So, yeah, I'm just happy that we made it through.
Yeah, he out here playing for the rest of us who were playing Terminal back when it first dropped. So
Absolutely.
We appreciate Exotic out here. Final words from you. You're heading into a matchup against one of the top 3 seeds, of course, one of people expect to see there. How y'all feeling going in up against Team Acrylic?
We're feeling great, man. Like I said, I mean, we're getting better every match, so I'm super confident that you'll be seeing us in a couple hours still on the stream.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for coming through. Best of luck to y'all for the rest of the event. And Matt, it's really hard again to follow up that set. I don't know how we do it, but we keep somehow topping the previous matches. So I can't wait to see who's going to be the one to somehow make a better job than what we just saw at best of 5.
If we see a better series than that, I told you guys, the chair's going out the window. Like I'm logistically going to lose my mind. It's not even a question. For me and Ajax in the booth, though, we're going to toss it to a quick break while we get the next matchup set up, which should be New Jersey Prodigy taking on the Houston Spartans in our winners finals. Trip to the Grands on the line, so don't go anywhere. When we come back, we are going to have more Championship Sunday COD action right back on our plates.